The little boy asked his father, "Dad, what is the size of God?" The father looked up to the sky and found an aeroplane and told the boy, "Son, look at the sky and the aeroplane. What is the size of the aeroplane?" The boy replied, "It is very hard even to see. It must be very tiny." Then the father took him to the airport and showed him an aeroplane. "Now, son, what would be the size of this aeroplane?" The son said, "This is a huge, big aeroplane." Father continued, "Of course, son. You know, the size of God is the distance between you and Him. If you are far away from Him, then He is very tiny or small in size. And as you come closer to Him, He looks very big." Dear brethren in Jesus Christ, our God is really big and greater than anything, anyone in the universe. And that's what it is said in the scriptures, that our God is greater than that He is in the world. We are today expected to be drawn near to our God. The more we are closer to our God, the better we know His greatness. God is always good, and He does always good things in our life. In order to understand that, we have to be closer to Him. Sometimes our problems become greater than anything in the world. Sometimes our difficulties become big in our life. Sometimes our troubles become big in our life. But if you are going to focus on these things, then you may not realize the greatness of God. We have the tendency to chase victory. But I would tell you, if you really want victory in life, then try to give priority to God and not to your victory. When you give priority to God, then the victory will find you. Not that you will go and find the victory will find you. Sometimes in life, we used to go behind people searching for their favor. But I would tell you, if you place God in your first place, and if you magnify your God, then God will show His favor on you. You don't need others' favor to have a happy and a better life. You need God's favor in your life. And that favor will come into your life when you venerate Him, when you give Him the first place. Look at the life of David. David gave priority to God. And because of that, he was able to realize that God was greater than Goliath. And that's what he was able to defeat Goliath. There are Goliath moments in our life. There are so many sickness seems to be Goliath in our life. There are so many barriers that are Goliath in our life. See, sometimes we find our child is off course. We have the addiction, and it's very hard for us to break the addiction. All these are seen to be Goliath moments and events. When you realize that God who is within you is greater, the God whom you worship is bigger than everything that you face, then He will give you the strength to go forward and get a blessed life. That's what we read it in the gospel today. In the gospel of Matthew chapter 8, we find a centurion coming asking for the favor of Jesus. In other words, he was trying to find favor not from people, but from God. Because he gave the first place to God, God gave him the blessing that he needed. So to receive His blessing in our life, let us keep Him in the first place and have a blessed and a wonderful life. Amen.